Hey, I'm Peter, and welcome back to Books for Thoughts, where we break down life-shifting ideas. From books that help you think sharper, live more intentionally, and move through the world with greater awareness. Today, we're exploring The Art of Invisibility by Kevin Mitnick, a practical and philosophical guide to protecting your privacy in a world that watches everything. Mitnick was once the most wanted hacker in America. Now he's teaching people how to protect themselves, not with fear, but with clarity and control. Invisibility doesn't mean disappearing. It means becoming harder to track, harder to predict, harder to profile. In a digital age, being visible doesn't just mean showing your face. It means everything you do leaves a trail. Every click, every swipe, every location ping, every conversation stored in the cloud. Invisibility is about recognizing that you're always being watched, not in a paranoid way, but in a factual one, and then asking, how much of myself do I want to give away by default? Mitnick opens with a truth most people don't realize: privacy is inconvenient. We love one-click logins, we love personalized ads, we love location-based suggestions, but all of that convenience is made possible by tracking you, your preferences, your movements, your conversations, packaged into data, stored, sold, and used. Mitnick's message isn't delete everything. It's be aware of what you're trading, because in most cases, you're not just using technology. Technology is using you. One of the most powerful parts of this book is its challenge to a common myth: I've got nothing to hide. Mitnick argues this is the wrong mindset. Privacy isn't about hiding something bad. It's about protecting your freedom to choose what you share, when you share, and with whom. Without that right, you're not being transparent. You're being controlled. Because if everything about you is accessible by default, your choices become predictable. Your behavior can be manipulated, and your life is no longer truly yours. Privacy is the space between who you are and what the world assumes about you. Studies show that when people feel they're being watched, they behave differently. They self-censor. They take fewer risks. They conform. This isn't about having something to hide. It's about how surveillance shapes the self. Mitnick warns that we're raising generations who never knew privacy to begin with. Everything is shared. Everything is tracked. Everything becomes content. And over time, this changes how we think, how we speak, and how free we feel. Invisibility is a kind of mental liberation, not so you can disappear, but so you can reclaim space to be fully yourself. Most people don't realize how much they reveal just by living their daily lives online. Mitnick breaks it down clearly. You don't need to be hacked. You just need to be careless. Logging into public Wi-Fi without protection, using the same password across accounts, posting photos with geolocation tags, accepting app permissions without reading a word, using your real birth date everywhere. Each action seems small, but combined, they create a fingerprint that advertisers, hackers, and even governments can follow. The first step toward invisibility is breaking your own habits of convenience. Mitnick doesn't overwhelm you with jargon. Instead, he offers straightforward tools that anyone can use: password managers like Bitwarden or 1Password, two-factor authentication on every account, VPNs to hide your IP and encrypt your connection, encrypted messaging apps like Signal, secure browsers like Brave or Firefox, private search engines like DuckDuckGo. Each of these tools is a brick in your digital fortress. Used together, they don't make you invisible, but they make you harder to track, harder to predict, harder to exploit. And in the digital age, that's power. Here's where Mitnick is especially clear. You don't have to go off-grid. You don't have to delete every app, live without a smartphone, or wear a tinfoil hat. What you need is a shift in mindset, You don't leave your house with your door wide open. So don't move through the digital world without thinking about the locks. Mitnick invites us to choose our exposure rather than accept it blindly. The goal is to act with intention, not paranoia. And that means asking, is this worth the trade-off? More than just a tech manual, The Art of Invisibility is a philosophy of digital life. It's about understanding that in today's world, control is currency. When you control your data, you control your story. When you choose what to share, you stay human in a system that wants to reduce you to numbers. Mitnick reminds us that invisibility isn't about hiding, it's about being free from manipulation. And in a time when nearly everything is being watched, choosing invisibility, even partially, is a radical act of self-respect. The Art of Invisibility isn't a fear-based book. It's a guide to moving through the modern world with awareness, dignity, and digital wisdom. It teaches you how to think like a hacker, not to break the system, but to understand it well enough to protect yourself from it. Because in a world built on constant exposure, the power to choose invisibility is the power to stay fully human. If this breakdown helped you see your digital life differently, consider picking up The Art of Invisibility by Kevin Mitnick and supporting the author. You'll find even more tools, stories, and strategies for taking back control. And if you're into books that make you think deeper about the systems shaping your behavior, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Books for Thoughts for 10-minute breakdowns that sharpen your mind and strengthen your autonomy. Until next time, stay intentional, stay informed, and protect your signal.